You're listening to the Morning Wake Up Call on 88.7 FM WRHU. I'm Bradley Clarke, and I'm sure you've heard of the infamous swag bags that are given out to celebrities after major award shows. Well, I'm joined on the phone right now with the man who makes sure every gift bag is swagified. This is Lash Fary. Lash, thank you so much for joining me on the program.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, I'm sure a lot of people envy your job. How did you get started in the celebrity gift-giving business?
You know, we started doing gift bags for the American Music Awards and the Grammys back in 2000, and then ended up doing literally every other award show, and just sort of has grown and taken on a life of its own, where now everybody knows about swag. Everyone in the world talks about the gift bags, that whether it's presenters, performers, nominees, whatever the event might be. So it's sort of become part of the pop culture zeitgeist, as they say.
So are you doing the Oscars this year?
What we're doing is, for the 15th year, we're creating what we call the Everyone Wins gift bag. This is a special tribute that we do independently with no affiliation to the Oscars for the major Oscar nominees. So whether they win or lose on Sunday, they will certainly win in the swag department.
So what's going into these swag bags?
We have so many amazing things. Where to start? I'll start with the trips, because those are always the priciest items. They can spend 6 days in a luxury villa at Kaloa Landing Resort on the sunny south shore of Kauai.
I mentioned you're going to Hawaii.
Or they can opt for a 3-day, fully private mansion stay for them and up to 10 friends at the Lost Coast Ranch right here in Northern California.
Big decision.
We've got cutting-edge tech from Umi, which is a system that converts an ordinary home into a smart home. If they want the ultimate in relaxation and like to relax the way that Leonardo DiCaprio does, we've got the Haze Dual V3 Vaporizer. This is the first and only dual-chamber vaporizer on the market. And because they are Oscar nominees, and just to prove that when you're an Oscar nominee, even something as seemingly simple as an apple has to be the best in the world, we've got a year's supply of Opal apples for them. These are all-natural, non-browning, non-GMO apples, because, you know, when you're Meryl Streep, you can't have a brown apple.
Exactly.
And then my favorite part is always the beauty aisle. So we've got best-in-class beauty, including my personal favorite skincare product, and I swear by it and use it every day. It's called Healing Saints Luminosity Skin Serum, a truly transformational skincare product.
So these aren't your average consolation prizes. We're not getting no turtle wax or a year's supply of rice-a-roni here.
Occasional turtle wax and a year's supply of rice-a-roni.
None of those things, but, you know, it's not always about the price tag. We do have on the low end something from Chapstick, their new Total Hydration product, which not only moisturizes but also has a pop of tint to it. Those are under $5. You know, we've got from Muscle Tech their protein bars, their Nitro Crunch cake protein bars. So some of the items aren't so expensive, but we always just look for things that'll make their lives better. We even have a priceless gift this year from the American Heart Association. It's the CPR Anytime Kit, so they can learn hands-only CPR in under 30 minutes and then potentially save the life of a loved one.
Wow, that's so cool. That's such a unique gift, too.
Totally. I've been on this crusade to make sure people are learning hands-only CPR for the past couple of years, and hopefully it'll soon be a graduation requirement in all high schools across the country.
I think that would be a great idea, especially nowadays. You know, CPR training is always great to have, no matter who you are or where you are.
Totally, and everybody I talk to, celebrity or not, says, oh, that's on my list, so we just want to make it easy for these very busy Oscar nominees.
Absolutely. So your company, Distinctive Assets, they don't only do swag bags, they also do gift lounges. So what's the main difference between the two?
Well, the main difference is the interactive component. So we just did a backstage gift lounge at the Grammy Awards. We've been the official gift givers for the Grammys for 18 years now. And we're set up on site. The vendors are there, so the celebrities are personally coming through to pick out their own sunglasses and, you know, all the different gifts. We had Umi there as well, and all the guys were flipping for that because they were such tech lovers. So there's just this interaction. You get to meet the celebrity, get a photo with them. John Travolta came through, Andrew Day, who rocked the stage, Lucas Graham, all these amazing performers came through, and the vendors got to meet them.
I'm talking to Lash Fary, the swag master to the stars. On the Late Late Show with James Corden, you did a little snippet with James' parents.
We did. I'm so glad you caught that. That was so fun. James was hosting the show this year and was too busy to come, but his parents were in town, and he asked if they could come through for him, and we said absolutely. So we treated them to all the same gifts that James would have gotten.
Did they actually keep all of the gifts that you put in their big bag for them?
Well, they left with them. I don't know what they kept and what they shared with the rest of their family, but they certainly left with everything.
Well, That takes care of the Christmas shopping this year. I love it.
Well, that's good. At least they took some stuff.
They had so much fun, and they're so lovely. You can see why James is so funny, because his parents are hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. So speaking of the gift lounges, when a lot of these celebrities come through, are they more of take one of everything, or are they watching out for a few items?
You know, they know they get one of everything, and if they love something and, you know, the vendors want them to have it, they can certainly follow up with them after the fact. But celebrities are not, despite what people would like to think, are not greedy in any way. They are lovely. Now, their entourages might try to get in on some of the action, but that's a whole separate thing.
So you do a lot of the award shows. You've done, you said the Grammys, and of course you're doing the Oscars, but you also did one of my favorite award shows, the Kids' Choice Awards.
Oh, yeah, I haven't done that one for a few years, but we did it for 3 or 4 years, and it comes right after the Oscars. They consider themselves the junior Oscars, and we met so many great people there, and that was a very fun and very different show, obviously, than the Oscars or the Grammys, but certainly a fun show to do. I've done literally every award show at least once. Some of them you do multiple times, some you do one-off, some you take a break from, but another day, another award show here in L.A.
So is there an award show that you haven't done that you'd love to do?
You know what? I haven't done a country show for a couple of years. We used to do the Academy of Country Music Awards and the CMAs, so that's probably on my list to probably get back into the cycle of doing some country show. A lot of my clients love the country artists.
What about the Razzie Awards? Have you ever done that?
I haven't, though that would kind of be a fun one to do. I mean, truthfully, a lot of the movies that are up for Razzies, I legitimately enjoyed, and they were my favorite.
Me too.
Movies,
I always find the Razzie movies to be some of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I don't know who gets to decide on those, but sometimes they're Oscar performances that I'm like, wow, that might have been a Razzie performance in my opinion. So, you know, everybody has different tastes.
I was thinking for the Razzie Awards, you can give the actors and actresses maybe a suit that they could wear to next year's Oscars, hoping that they get nominated.
As long as I got my suit and tie.
That's good. A lot of those nominees, now that they've been nominated, they have deals now with all these tuxedo manufacturers or designers to get their suits, and they have to wear them. Or, you know, if you're Jake Gyllenhaal, you have to wear Tom Ford because you just did his movie. So it's a complex thing, wearing the clothes on the red carpet.
What about a chocolate Oscar statue?
Well, we couldn't do an actual Oscar statue because it's copyright protected, so we'd be sued if we tried to make an Oscar statue. Only they can make Oscar statues. But we do have my favorite chocolate in the world in these nominee gift bags.
Chocolate? Did you say chocolate?
This is from Chubby Chipmunk. These are hand-dipped chocolate truffles, and I may or may not have had a few boxes of these over the past few weeks.
But who's counting?
Luckily, we also have my favorite diet product, Hydroxycut Platinum, so it all balances out.
So how far in advance do you plan for these gift bags or gift lounges?
This is well, they're all a year-round endeavor, but certainly with these nominee gift bags, we'll start as soon as we wrap this event this weekend. We will start working on next year's. In fact, there were a bunch of clients who missed the deadlines, and or their products got stuck in customs and they couldn't participate this year, and they're already lined up to participate next year. So it takes a full year to get it all together. Certainly, there's a big push here in the final month or so before a show, but we work on it a long time.
You're listening to the Morning Wake Up Call on 88.7 FM WRHU. I'm Bradley Clarke, and I'm talking to Lash Fary, the man who takes goodie bags to the next level. Do you know what you're going to get beforehand? Like, you say to yourself, that's definitely going into next year's gift bag. Or do you go around shopping and trying to find anything you can?
You know what? We never know. It all depends on what brands present themselves, what brands are promoting and launching new products. This year, for example, Crayola was promoting a new product they have called Crayola My Way, where you can customize your box of crayons, not just selecting your own color palette, but putting a picture on the front, coming up with your own name. They did a special golden series for the Oscar nominees, including a special gold crayon that they put in each one with the specific nominee's name on it. So, that's something, because it was new and they were promoting it, it was included this year. We hadn't included that before. It sort of depends what's going on within the brand's own marketing.
So how much of the stuff that you wish you could keep yourself?
Well, I do keep it all.
Oh, you do?
I have to test it to make sure it's up to snuff and, appropriate for all these nominees. Sometimes I don't always get to take all the trips. I'm not a big traveler. So, for example, I haven't gotten a chance to get out to Kaloa Landing before the Oscars, but I'm certainly planning for that to be my post-Oscars vacation that I take. They just did a huge remodel, and I'm excited to go and experience their new luxury facilities.
So you would take that trip over the mansion stay?
Well, I don't know if I'd do it instead. I think I'm going to do both. The Mansion Stay is so
Why
close.
not?
It's a shame not to do it. It's just, a drive up the street, really.
Any predictions for this year's Oscars? Do you like to make predictions when you go to these award shows?
I do, and I almost always win the Oscar pool, no matter what it is. So my predictions are for sure Casey and Emma for Best Actor and Actress. I think Viola will probably win Supporting Actress. The only one I'm not sure of is Best Supporting Actor. I'm rooting for Dev Patel, but I think it's actually going to go to the dude from Moonlight, and then I think La La Land will get Director and Picture.
You seem to have a lot of my picks, because I also do the selection beforehand. I picked La La Land. I also picked Emma Stone and Dev Patel. I picked Denzel for Best Actor. And I picked, for Supporting Actress, I picked Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I definitely think it'll be either Octavia or Viola for Supporting. And, even though it wasn't one of my favorite films in terms of Fences, what Denzel did as an actor was truly astonishing. In terms
absolutely.
of how hard that role was. But I just really, really loved what Casey did, and I do think he'll win.
Do you ever get stressed out when you realize, award season is coming up?
No, because it's sort of my 1 year to really work hard, one part of the year to really work hard. So January and February are insane, just nonstop work for me, and then I'm able to have a little bit more of a relaxed schedule the rest of the year. So I think because I don't have to do it all the time, I in a way look forward to it because it's sort of my fun time of year.
You should work for The Price is Right.
The Price is Right!
Because I'm sure they'd love you.
I don't know. I mean, I certainly supplied prizes for things like Let's Make a Deal and, game show packages and stuff.
Let's make a deal!
What I'd ultimately love to do is be a host on HSN or QVC where I get to talk about products all day because, as you may or may not have been able to tell, I love talking about products. I genuinely love trying new products and, seeing what's out there. This year, for example, one of my favorite products that we're gifting, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, we have to give this. It's from Bangarang, and it's called the Positive Cube, and it's a little wooden box filled with 199 different cards. Each of them has a different positive quote or affirmation or daily action that you can take to put positivity out into the world, which I think is so important these days.
That is such a cool gift. You get the coolest gifts.
I like to think so. We don't really get that many complaints. Certainly, it's very eclectic and diverse, and we err on the side of more is more. You never know what somebody's going to like. But we're also big fans of regifting, so we give, all these gifts with the hope that these celebrities will share it with their loved ones, and even if they're not going to use it themselves, they'll have their wife or their girlfriend or their children use it. So, we always try to include things for children as well, like board games. So we have Watch Your Mouth, and it's just a board game in this particular gift bag, which is awesome and fun for the kids.
Are those some of the things you give out at the Kids' Choice Awards?
Not exclusively that. When you're doing something that's automatically themed like Kids' Choice or Country Music Awards, you don't want it just to exclusively be, in the case of country music, cowboy hats and cowboy boots and, things that we sort of stereotypically associate. So at the Kids' Choice, it's not just kids who are presenters. They obviously have adults there as well who happen to be in movies that speak to kids. So we always try to have a very versatile and diverse range of products.
I'm talking to Lash Fary, the celebrity gifting guru. Are there any gifts that celebrities ask you to try to find for them?
Not specifically. I mean, I think that for them, because this is just something that's fun, obviously it's not because they need any of this stuff. For them, they're just busy, and it's hard for them to go to Sephora if they're, Emma Stone, and just experience and play with new skincare and beauty products. So for them, they can shop right in the comfort and privacy of their own home, right from their gift bag. So it's just more about introducing them to things that we think that they'll like.
I think that's such a great idea. Did you come up with this concept, or was this a concept before you started?
We came up with this concept in the case of this tribute that we do for the Oscar nominees. Typically, these gift bags are done exclusively for presenters and performers at an award show as a thank you. That's what we do for the Grammys, for example. But because the Oscars, when I started this 15 years ago, already had their own gift bag, which they've now since discontinued, I was looking for a fun way to do something for the Oscar nominees. There's also all sorts of gift suites that go up at hotels during Oscar week, but what I noticed is that none of the actual top nominees went to these gift suites. So I figured let's do something where we can make it easy for them. It'll be delivered right to their doorstep. They don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to take pictures. This is a very stressful week. So we started doing just our own thing 15 years ago, and just the response from the celebrities was immediately positive, and they were wearing the stuff and going on the trips, and it just grew and grew and grew, and now it's the most buzzed about swag bag in the world.
Well, I hope that the actors and actresses enjoy this year's swag bag at the Oscars, because I'm sure you put a lot of time and effort into it.
We did, and I think that they will.
Well, Lash, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and thank you so much.
Too. Thanks so much for having me.
And I hope one day I'll be famous enough to snag some swag from you.
Yes, I'm expect to see you up there as an Oscar nominee very, very soon.
Well, I hope so. Do you do the Emmys?
I haven't for a while. We used to do a similar concept for the Emmy nominees, but we stopped doing that a few years ago. And but maybe I'll do something again soon.
Yeah, because I'm shooting for an Emmy. I want to be a game show host.
Ooh, fun! That would be a daytime Emmy. That's a different
Right,
show.
the daytime Emmys, of course. Well, thank you, Lash, so much. I hope the Oscars go as planned, and I hope everyone loves their gifts.
Thanks so much, Bradley. Thanks for having me on the show.
My pleasure.